Friday, midweek, right here on the Flow of God's Own State. This is Flow 94.9 FM. It is the part of our morning show. Of course, we call it Morning Spies on Flow 94.9 FM. The one we call Morning Spies on Flow 94.9 FM, the discussion segment where we have robust conversations on issues bordering on economy, entertainment, sometimes anyways. We've not done entertainment on this show before. Politics, business, just name it, different sectors as it affects the country. Nigeria. Welcome to the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, Wednesday edition, right here on the Flow of God's Own State, Flow 94.9 FM. My name is Michael Oni. The program runs every Monday, every Wednesday, and also every Friday on the Flow of God's Own State. And also, this morning, we're looking at a very topical issue, security. Now, this time around, what about the security? President Muhammadu Buhari, in a shocking move just before the Democracy Day, granted interviews. Of course, I say interviews to two different national television stations. First, the private television station, then the national television station, the one owned by the federal government. A shocking move because President Muhammadu Buhari is not the type of president that goes out to grant interview, of course, on topical issues on national television. But it was a shocking move. And some of the statements uttered by Mr. President on certain issues have been generating a lot of reactions. That's expected, of course. The president's position on some issues like security. And now we reviewed that on the platform a couple of days ago, but we're revisiting something he said about the governors and of the states taking charge of security situation in their domain. Remember, the president said that there is a system where security at every level, from the local government to the state, and it consists of traditional leaders in that area who have been there for generations. So he said that some governors visited him and when they had issues concerning security in their domain. And he said that he asked those governors to go back. I told all the governors, I'm quoting now, to go back and go to the old system so that they would have intelligence to know what is happening in their constituency. They can't just go around winning elections and sit down and think someone will do their job for them. Now let's listen to the president again.
Reading it in the newspapers. Those of us who are old enough to know the old NA police and so on. That time, the traditional institutions leaders were very effective. In each community, I will give you one example of recent. Two governors from the Southwest came to tell me that the cattle rearers in some of the forests there have killed farmers while their cattle were eating on their crops. So I told them, you campaigned to be elected, and you are elected. He said, yes. I said, go back and sort out yourselves. Because there has been a system, as all of us here could recall, even your local government, when there are security at each level, at local government and state, it consists the traditional leaders in that area who have been there for generations. So they know all the crooks in their locality. Then the police, then those who come, whether they are cattle rearers or influential traders, they are part of it. They meet either monthly or quarterly, and discuss the security within that level. If it is above them, they pass it on. So I told those governors to go back and go to the old system so that they will have intelligence. They will know what is happening.
So that's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, some days later, the governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, they came together and they had a meeting in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State Capital. The governors called for the decentralization of the operations of the security apparatus of the state, even within the existing legal framework. They explained that the move became necessary in the face of disturbing spate of insecurity in the land to ensure the input of local operators in the state and the local government in policing and security. Now, where we're anchoring the discussion today on the platform on Flow FM is on what Governor Nyesom Wike, he's also a PDP governor, of course, representing Rivers State, what he said yesterday. He came out publicly and asked President Muhammadu Buhari to take responsibility for the nation's security, and he should stop throwing the baton to the state governors. He stated that while the governors have a critical role to play as the chief security officer in their respective states, the president swore to an oath to protect the people of Nigeria. Let's listen to Nyesom Wike, then I'm going to let you into the conversation this morning. And of course, that will be our anchor point this morning on the platform.
Support Mr. President. When his broadcast speech on this June 12 speech he made, he said, Governor, stay in your state and do your work and stop worrying me. I thank God, Mr. President, no. I'm not one of those governors that come and see Mr. President or visit him for one problem or the other. I will not be. Mr. President should have come out openly and said, my APC governors, stop worrying me. Go back to your state and do your work. You're worrying me a lot. I, as the governor of Rivers State, under PDP, you will never find my leg. I will not go there. So I'm happy. That's why I support him. If he does this, you will see that all these people who wear red cap or not my own red cap. This my own red cap is different. All these people who go to the villa and worry the president, when they finish, then they'll tell them to talk to the press, and then they will tell them, only me cannot solve security problem. Who and who took the oath of office? Did you take oath of office with anybody? You took the oath of office to protect life and what? Property. When you were taking it, they didn't give the oath of office to two people. You are the one who took the loan. President said, go home and solve your problem. Go home and solve your security problem. But let me also tell Mr. President too, yes, you have said the security issues is left in the state. How about our president? Not be so. The Constitution didn't say that. Who is the commander-in-chief? Are we the governor that commander-in-chief? We are not commander-in-chief. Mr. President, you are the commander-in-chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You appoint IG. You appoint Chief of Army Staff. You appoint Chief of Naval Staff. You appoint Director. Which one do we appoint? CP, I don't appoint. Director here, no be me. Commander here, no be me. Which one again you say they are under me? They're not under me. You are the one controlling. Okay, allow us now to pick who will be CP for ourselves. Allow us to pick who will be in charge of SSF. Then you will see whether it will be the same thing. Because they cannot act until they take powers from you. We cannot tell them do this, they do. If I call my CP now, it's okay, let me call IG. Who appointed IG? Not the president. IG is okay, hold on first. Let me clear with Oga. So why are we shifting the goalposts when the match is almost completed? You know, it is not good. It is not good. It is not good. So when there is a failure, what makes leadership in life is that when you know that yes, I said I was going to do this, but I never knew the magnitude. I can come back to say, my dear brothers and sisters, I did promise this. I agree with you. That is leadership. But for what I've seen, it can't be that again. Give me so time. But you cannot run away from.
Well, Governor Nyesom Wike there, you heard him saying the president cannot throw the blame. Of course, saying the president cannot throw the blame to the governors. He's the chief security officer of the country. Of course, he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Now, let's go straight to the conversation today. The question is, who controls Nigeria's security apparatus? I have joining me this morning on the platform Chikwe Udensi. He's a regular on the program as security expert, system coordinator, Interpol, and a security consultant. Glad to have you join us on the platform on Flow FM. Good morning to you. You're welcome to the platform on Flow FM. Thank you very much for joining us.
command and control of the security apparatus in the state. So it is the president, as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, is the head of all security agencies in the country, and he is one who commands and controls them.
Okay, Sir Chikwe, the big question here that led to that question is that there are issues at the state level, looking at the insecurity bedeviling the states with their peculiar challenges now. Now, the president is expecting the governors to also intervene to some level. So I would like you to help us find meanings to some of these issues. How much control and how much can the governors do in the face of all these security challenges bedeviling their states?
Well, the truth of the matter, the fact of the matter right now, is that the level of insecurity in the country has exposed the inability of the federal security agencies to be able to provide security for the country. It is now very clear that the federal agencies cannot do the job anymore. That is why you can see that federal government have now allowed states, especially at the regional level, to have their own security agencies. You see what is happening in the north. You see what is happening in the west. In fact, the one from the west, which is called the Amotekun, that is the most viable one right now, because they have been very proactive. The governors in the west have been very proactive in ensuring that they provide security of life and property in their region. Where we have lapse, enormous lapse, is in south-south and southeast. Southern governors and southeastern governors have been sleeping on issues of security. They think they can do it alone. The federal government have now allowed regional security agencies to operate. Amotoku has been accepted by the chief commander-in-chief of the armed forces. There are now a legislative body, a legislation on them that allows them to function. The various state legislative bodies have also allowed it to function. That is what it is required. The southeastern governors are not doing much in this regard. The one that has been established by southeastern governors called Ebubago is moribund. It's comatose. In fact, we were told the other day that the proponent of that arrangement, who is the head of the agency,
Major General Umahi retired.
Governor, sorry?
I said Major General Umahi retired.
That's a good one. Governor Umahi have absconded. He has refused to do the job. And he premised it on the fact that his counterpart are not interested.
Okay.
They don't want to bring funding. So
okay, but the argument that comes in here is that these chief security officers of the states, which are the governors, they have security votes. They have a certain amount of money that is dedicated for security situation in their states. I don't know if you what is the function of that particular security vote, which some persons allege that it is running to billions of naira.
Well, if you see the volume of funds that is received by state governors every month by way of security votes, you'll be totally shocked at what they are doing. The governors of the that collect these security votes, they pocket it. They do not use it for the purpose for which it is intended. These monies are not being used to ensure that even the minimal security arrangements are put in place. It's a pity. It's pathetic. And you can see what Buhari said in his resignation letter. He said that the various Southeastern governors who he is working with have not contributed one dime to the system. And that he's not willing to keep using these own funds to run the whole entire Southeast. That the best thing for him to do is to concentrate on security of Ebonyi State. And Ebonyi has a little bit problem, massive problem of insecurity in the Southeast. So the Southeastern governors are not united. They have started not to leverage through the window that the federal government has provided.
So in the midst of all these, Sir Chukwe, who are we to blame? We can't keep throwing the baton between the federal government and the state government, and the federal government is saying, yeah, you governors should take charge. The governors are saying federal government should take charge. So who are we to blame? Who are we to hold responsible for the security and of lives and property?
We are not to blame anybody. We are to hold somebody responsible. We are going to hold the state governors responsible for their inability to take advantage of the window provided by the federal government for us to have a very formidable regional security outfit called a Bubago. Look at what is happening with Amotoku. Look at the results from Amotoku. Look at the impact Amotoku have done in the area of providing security for life and property in the Southwest. So we're not blaming them. We're asking them to take responsibility of leadership positions in their various locations. The Southeastern governors are sleeping. The Southeastern governors have refused to accept the responsibility of providing security for their people. That is where we are concerned. We're not intending to blame them, so we're asking them, please come down from your various high horses and take responsibility.
So are you saying
we have been shouting this for the past 4-5 years.
So are you saying the president was right? Are you saying the president was right in sending back those governors that ran to the Aso Villa for help?
Absolutely. The president said you have been asking for state police. Now we have allowed you to have regional security, at least to test if you are capable of handling state police. You are not even able to handle regional security. Only the West and the North have shown capacity to handle regional security. The Southeast have shown absolute abysmal failure in handling the security of their people. That is what the president is saying. And I agree with him. Absolutely.
In a situation where the security apparatus at the state level, I understand on this out of the 68 exclusive list on items on the president, on the executive, we have the police and other security agencies. Now, in a situation where the security apparatus at the state level are not controlled by these governors, what is expected of them?
My dear, the security apparatus, the one that is regional, is being controlled right now by the governors. Mutoku, the commander of Amutoku, is the governor of Ekiti State. Akredolu.
Ondo State.
Ondo State. Akredolu. The governor of Ebonyi was to be the commander of Eduardo. So the states were to be taxed, and they were to partner with other federal agencies to ensure that there's proper security of life and property in the southeast. But that is not being done. They have chosen to do their little politics and sitting on their various high horses, and they have refused to do the needful. So do not blame Umahi when he got angry and resigned, because they ought to have leveraged on that window provided by the federal government. The federal government has provided a window where you have to have regional security outfits. Ebubago should have been doing better today if the governors have put in place the necessary instrumentality for security in the southeast. Amotoku is doing massively well. So, my dear, it's not a matter of blame, it's a matter of asking them, take responsibility of security of life and property where the federal agencies have shown that. And that's what the federal government has done.
All right. In a situation where a region cannot come together to have a formidable security outfit, just like you explained concerning Southeast, individual governors, what is expected of them now that they cannot form a formidable force and have a security outfit, a functional security outfit like that of Ebubiago? What is expected of these governors, these 5 governors? What can they do individually?
Well, with the disintegration of Ebubiago, you've seen what the Anambra State governor has done. He has re-energized and revigorated his Bakassi group. The Bakassi group is back now. We were told they were inaugurated back last week by the governor of Anambra State. That frustration of the inability of the governors to come together and have a unified force in Southeast, that is what has made them now to start looking at having their own. Ebubago is functioning only in Ebonyi State. Bakassi have now commenced putting together their various machineries for security in Anambra State. Abia State, well, I don't know what is going on. I've not heard what is going on.
There is internal security. There is this homeland security here.
Well, whatever they are doing, they should buckle up. Whatever they are doing, they should add more grease to their elbow. Whatever they are doing, they should add more fuel into what they are doing. Right now, it is not being felt. Anambra State has also been starting to not Anambra State, I'm sorry, Enugu State is putting back their own machinery to see what they can do to secure their region. But if we had come together as a team, if we had come together as a region, if we had come together under Ebubago, it would have made enormous impact. When I heard Ebubago was coming up, I was very impressed. I even made suggestions and gave them free equipment. I was willing to give them even vehicles, provide vehicles for them, and contribute my own little quota for the security of the Southeast. But you have seen the attitude of our governors. And the man quickly resigned, angrily resigned. You cannot blame him. That is where we have found ourselves now. And we are asking our governors to please put their various egos in their various pockets and come together to secure the Southeast region. If they are arrogant, if they are
now, some of these governors have come out to complain about constraints, talking about financial constraint, funding. They said there are no money to fund some of these internal security structures. For example, the homeland security that we have in Abia State right here, as their officers are being owed months of salaries, and these are some of the financial constraints being faced by some of these internal security structures that we have in the southeastern part of the country. Do you agree with that?
How can I agree with that? Who is funding Amotoku? The southeastern states, most of them are getting money from the oil derivatives. They are getting more than even the western region, apart from Lagos, that has enormous revenue, internal revenue base. The other was AATC, Ondo, Osun. Where do they have money from? Abia has more money than each of those states. Enugu makes more. Imo makes more than those states. Where have they gotten their own money from? My dear, it has to do with leadership. If you don't have capacity, you can't give what you don't have. Our leaders in the Southeast lack capacity. They lack vision, they lack the vision to protect their people. And that's simple about it.
Okay.
It's not negotiable.
Just a quick one before I let you go this morning, Udensi. What is the money devoted for security vote meant for the governors? What is it meant for?
Generally, security vote is meant for the governor's personal use. It is meant for him to undertake some activities that ordinarily budgetary arrangements cannot cover. That is what it is. Security is one of them. Security of life and property is one of them. In fact, it ought to be principle in it. But you have seen how they operate with their security votes. Apart from even keeping the security votes in their various pockets, they even go ahead to take more from the budgetary arrangements we have in the country. It's unfortunate. It is very disturbing. That is why most of us are saying there's a need for us to look other ways to make sure we have people who have capacity, who have mission, who have vision, who have the capacity to do something in the state. We don't have that in Southeastern State. It's unfortunate.
All right, Sir Chikwe Udensi, System Coordinator, Interpol, and ex-security consultant. Thank you very much for your analysis this morning on the topic of discussion. We do appreciate you. Thank you very much. Well, you heard him. He broke it down for us, of course, on the subject of discussion today on the platform on Flow FM. Who controls Nigeria's security apparatus? That's a big question we asked this morning on the platform on Flow 94.9 FM. We're going to take your comments, especially on our Facebook page and, of course, the phone lines this morning. Very soon, we take a break now. When we return, we take your comments. Of course, don't forget to drop those comments of yours on our Facebook page, Flow 949 FM. We have the visual version of this program running there, and of course your calls on 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. Who controls Nigeria's security apparatus? At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business, high-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM. Hello, good morning. All right. Good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Good morning, Mike.
You're welcome.
Who say my name? I'm calling from Mumbai.
All right.
Mr. Mike, I beg to disagree with our brother Chikwe Udensi and his analysis, like putting the blames on governors alone. I believe that governors, they have some part to play. They are supposed to play some part, just like Mike said, and just like I've been saying in this platform. The Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces is the head of security as long as this country is concerned. Whether we like it or not, I keep saying that the governors are not in control of the police and military personnel. Like we can ask them, who is in charge of IG, who appoints IG, who appoints commissioners, who appoints chief of army staff or chief of defense staff. So we need to talk about it and talk it the way it should. Not maybe most times if we are not there to look as if we are going to provide heaven and earth. I keep saying that this constitution of this country, 1999 constitution, has been amended. Is the root cause of corruption. They has been the problem to this country. Because these are the things that we are talking about. They need to look into it. If you are to provide a community policing, which the governors or whatever should be in charge of their separate home, they should provide security for themselves. It will have a long way to go. We're talking about internal security. It's not enough. You can't tell it like the governor of Oyo State said that They are begging federal government to allow its men to carry AK-47. You can't compare pump action with AK-47. You can't compare locally made guns with AK-47 or what the bandits and the kidnappers, the kind of gun they use. Those guns are not legalized. If it is legalized, maybe if you are talking about security, I believe that internal security, they have a long way. They can do a lot to help our citizens. But Bakassi people here, they have been at the state vigilante group. You can't compare AK-47 with the kind of rifle that they are carrying. And most times, those things go through the House of Assembly. He mentioned Anambra State, mentioned Enugu State. This Amotekun and all these ones he's mentioning. When a Boko Haram or a kidnapper or a bandit or a Fulani headsman came with such amount of the ammunition that they use, they can't face those these local security men and not face them. So
all right,
we
thank
need
you
to
for
blame the
sharing
president.
your thoughts. We do appreciate you, Hussein Manode. Glad to have you join us on the platform on Flow FM. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're welcome. All right, Ikechukwu.
What governors need is security structure and not vote. In fact, the entire security structure in the Nigerian system is a high conspiracy. They need to have their own security structure. You understand? The security is.
Ikechukwu, if you can call back, your line is breaking, so we need to have a clear connection. If you can call back, I will appreciate. Good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay. Michael, I'm surprised that your radio station made this a subject of discussion.
Why are you surprised?
Yeah, why I am surprised, why are we calling
Did you follow the program from the start?
Yes.
You heard what Governor Wike said. You heard what the president said.
Yes, I heard what Wike said, that the power of security lies in the power of the Mr. President.
Okay. So, and you heard what the president said.
Yes.
So why shouldn't it be a subject of discussion?
You are professional in this.
Okay.
Okay. So what I am saying in the first place, when we are calling for restructuring and the devolution of power, is where the governors will have more powers over security to create state policing, for instance. Now, I want to ask you, coming to in protection or buying of arms and ammunition, is it within the ambit of the governors or Mr. President, Mr. Michael? Hello?
Yes, I'm getting you. Go on with your contribution, please.
Okay. Now, I believe it is within the power of presidency. What we have in Nigeria is presidency. It's within the power of presidency to import or to buy arms and ammunition. And what we are having is, if I say, it's beyond the security. We are having terrorism. We are having banditry. We are having all sorts of it. Now, Mr. Chukwuedensi or Honorable Chukwuedensi is so economical with the truth, or maybe that's to the best of his knowledge of security forces. IG is being controlled by the president. Army Chief of Staff is being controlled by the president. Anything military and the paramilitary is being controlled by the IG, by the president of the federation. Is that within the ambit of the governors? The answer is no. So how can governors assume responsibility? This should we have leadership failure. I can agree with you when the governors are saying that the local aspect, one of the constraints of controlling the challenges of security is finance. I disagree with that.
All right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. We do appreciate. Glad to have you join us on the platform on Flow FM. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, welcome back, Ikechukwu. We have a clear connection now.
What I'm now saying is that what governors need is structure and not your son. It's a political security structure or in their domain, as we have it in the United States. U.S. have New York Police Department under the government of the New York State. You know what I'm telling you, the state. And secondly, security should not be in the hands of assist a governor. It's like Abia State. They don't have a ministry of police. Yes, they have a commission.
Okay. The example you made concerning the United States, are they not the same with the regional security outfits that we're talking about that we couldn't establish properly right here in the southeastern part of the country? Ikechukwu? Wow.
Now,
your connection is so poor. All right. Good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Yeah, good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
It's Alvan. I'm calling you from them.
All right, Alvan.
Yeah, your question is very, very clear. Who controls? Your address, like the last caller said, was economical with the truth. He tried to mix politics, telling us that the Southeast governors lack the capacity, to save their lives and property. It is very, very wrong now. Here in Abia State, Abia has been very, very peaceful despite this recent absurd, maybe as a result of the fallout of NSAS and the rest of them. Abia has been very peaceful. Governor Bazu has been on top of a security situation in Abia State. Of course, he built a very big office for, I think, at Zone 9. If you pass towards the Secretariat, you see it, a very gigantic building. He has been very, very consistent in providing vehicles, equipment that will assist the security agencies here in Abia State to do their work effectively. He has been on it from time to time. He has been doling out numbers of vehicles and the rest of them. So coming to tell us that there is, even if he wants to contest a governorship, time is...
no, you shouldn't bring politics in here. We didn't talk politics. You shouldn't bring politics here. All right, Alvan, you should know better. You shouldn't bring politics here. He didn't mention politics. He only chastised what the governors in the southeast have done. All right, thank you very much. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flu FM.
As I will say, I don't know what you hear me proper now.
All right, welcome back.
So what I'm now saying is that our Omoteku original, what we established here, cannot apprehend a suspect and take him to court and prosecute him in the court. We need a system that is restructure Nigeria, whereby the state can appoint the commissioner of police and the security, whatever we have here, can apprehend suspect and document the suspect and take a suspect to a court and prosecute him through the office of the commissioner, Attorney General of the state, as based on the law guarding the federation and the component. That is what we are asking here. Not a situation whereby the commissioner will take instruction from IG, which IG will confirm from the president before any action can be taken. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So, that is it. And secondly, security does not reside in the hand of a governor. To avoid the president, as in Africa here, it's only where it's a red alert, where there is a kind of a threat to the stability, state insurrection, or external aggression. That is why it's called the commander-in-chief, CNC, or grand commander. It's not a duty of a president to go to a hotel or to looking who is a member of PSN, which is command. It's the people in that domain, like you have with America now, they have what we call Homeland Security, which is like what we are call it the Homeland Security only gather intelligence. It's the office of National Security Advisor.
All right, Ikechukwu. Thank you.
In
yeah, quickly wrap up your thoughts.
Okay, every state in Nigeria should have a ministry or commission, that's Ministry of Police Affairs or Ministry of Security. It's not Homeland Security.
That's the centralization of the security apparatus in the country. All right, thank you very much, Ikechukwu, for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Hello, good morning, my brother.
You're welcome.
I am High Chief Penachinanya.
All right. Hi, Chief. Welcome. Welcome.
Yes, I agree with our discussant, Udesi. You see, external security, when we talk of central security, the federal government or the president controls the central security apparatus. But in terms of the state, it is the governor's responsibility. They are in charge of the internal security. Like he has earlier mentioned of Moteku performing very well. You see, in the southeast here, I don't know actually what is wrong with our governors. Or perhaps they don't have the interest of people at heart. They have been urged so long by people calling on because of insecurity here in the southeast to establish a central security outfit. They promised they are going to establish one. In fact, they made an attempt of establishing a Bubago, but at the end of the day, they could not sponsor a Bubago to stand and do the job of security for the Southeasterners. But if they had the interest of the people of Southeast at heart, they would have worked with the Security Network and sponsor it since it has started in operation. But rather we are working at cross purposes. So the security vote given to them, I don't actually know what they're doing with it. Even here in the Southeast, we get more allocation, more than those who have been working in the South and there. Like the 12% derivation from oil derivation is added to their security vote and to their allocation. And yet, they don't want the security people
Hi,
here.
Chief, quickly
You
wrap
see
up
what
your
happened
thoughts.
to about 70 everybody people coming here. It's accepted that at the northern area there. What would that be doing in Imo State when the 70 able men came here and carry gun? And the police will be shooting Imo life here while the
All right. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. Hi, Chief. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Yeah, Michael, let me please.
All right. Your name again, please.
Yeah, it's Alvan.
Alvan, all right.
Yeah, the security issue we are talking about is a constitutional issue. I would have asked Tuku Udensi if the constitution has been amended where the regional have been emphasizing on Amotekun. Even Amotekun that he's talking about, are they finding it easy? It's not even easy for them to function. You see, because the Amotekun, do they have power to decide on what to do? Maybe arrest and hand over to the police, can hand over to the. So it's not issue here. Before the Ebubabu is talking about to function where some part of the constitution or law should be formed, I think these people are taking their time to do that. And it's very, very difficult because the constitution have not been amended, giving these governors power to control. As long as the federal government have the power to control, there's nothing the governors should do. And that is why we're talking about constitutional amendment where power, issue of power will be removed from the center and give to the governors to manage. If governors have power to control the police and army, some of these problems will not be happening. So you are controlling and blaming the governors. That is hypocrisy.
All right, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us, Alvan. Valentine Egbo on our Facebook page says, the same governors have the powers to control security agents on election day, but it is different after election. So also what happened to the security vote? They are collecting every month without accounting for it. No governor in Nigeria collects less than 500 million every month as security vote. I don't know where you're getting your fact from. I cannot confirm that anyways. And Valentine went further to say we are here blaming everything on the president. All right, let's get more reactions on the phone lines. Good morning to you.
Hello, good day. Connie.
You're welcome. Good morning to you.
Bawoni.
Alafia, you're welcome.
I'm Zion Zebul. I'm calling Dr. Zion Zebul. I'm calling from Nimba classes.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You see, shifting blames and passing box cannot solve the security problems in Nigeria. The president, or so-called presidency, has the absolute control of the security apparatus. So the governors have their role to play. And we should not restrict security to just shooting guns and drafting police or the army. The governors have the prerogative to make sure that their environment is secure by paying salaries, by making the environment conducive for peace and order to reign. But when it comes to these armed robbery and other hoodlum activities within the state governors are responsible. But when it comes to such issues as herdsmen attack, banditry, or whatever other insurgency, is the presidency must be held responsible for it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. On the Facebook page, Magnus Emmanuel says Buhari has powers, but governors also because Buhari appoint Chief of Army Staff, of course, Commissioner for Police, Bros. Let tell us the truth. Engineer Ima. All right, thank you, Engineer. Zimchikachim, right, Ephraim, on the Facebook page says, watching from Umahia South Local Government, security is everybody's business. Okay, on the SMS line, we've got messages also. Mike, do you know who controls security in the state during elections? That's another question. I believe it's a rhetorical question, though. Dr. Ken from Calabar. Good morning, Mike. Please, the state government are to be held responsible for their state security. Please ask the governor of Abia State if they have given vehicles to the Abia Vigilante Service since they came to power, or are we talking about salary that they are now paying? How are they working to improve their internal security? This one says all hands must be on deck to fight insecurity, both civilians and uniformed men. Kanu Zomba from Isukweto. Okay, still on the SMS line, this one says, I personally feel that security is everybody's business. Governor Yesam Wike is basing his statement on political partisanship. As a matter of fact, all these governors should put their security votes into good use for the sake of internal security while still expecting support from Buhari and his government, who happens to be the controller of the security in Nigeria. That's coming from Chioma in Umuahia. On our Facebook page, Stanley Chukubuike says, good morning, Michael. President Buhari asked the two governors to go back and settle whatever issues they have in their state. My question is, who is the chief commander of the armed forces? President Buhari don't have the capacity to lead. He should resign. That's come from Stanley. Anyways, Chigoziri says, my bro, I greet you. I'm from Owerri, living in Olokoro. My dear bro, governors have the powers to control security in their states because they are in charge of these states. And it's not only the president, but the governors give power to army. No, you're not correct. Powers concerning Nigerian army comes from the president. It is on the exclusive list of the executive. Okay, Arua Uka, that's Sir Ike, says, good morning, Michael. There is no single doubt about who controls the security structure in the country. As we know, the Constitution made it clear that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is the chief, as commander-in-chief. So the president is just twisting issues and trying to run away from coming out open to address the insecurity in the country with all fairness and honesty. The governors have limitations to what they can do at the level of things on ground, and as such we can only rely on our local security structure, which also has limitations to what kind of resources they can manage to use to tackle the situation. This is very clear. But then the Southeast governors are also not doing much as expected of them in terms of using our indigenous security outfits. Thank you. That's coming from Sir Ike. Okay, on the SMS line, this one says, good morning, my name is Mr. Ken, aka Kendo, the number one. I'm from Ubakala. Boss. Okay, all right. I don't believe that is for this program. Let's do one for the road and then we'll wrap up the program this morning. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Victor Emmanuel Ndovoka.
You're welcome, Mr. Victor.
Yeah. Yes, the security is in the exclusive list of the Constitution. And within the exclusive list, powers and policies in that list is being controlled by the federal government. The federal government, led by President Muhammadu Buhari, is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. It's good to say that security is everyone's business. But the controlling apparatus of the security system in Nigeria resides with the president. If the Constitution has expressly looked at the intricacy that is involved in the security system, it should have been framed in such a way that the governor and even every individual will have to look to maintain security in the system. the difference between a military man and an armed robber is that the armed robber is not recognized by law. But both of them carry arms. Even with other ordinary citizens, the difference between an ordinary citizen and military man is born and training. So all Nigerians should be trained. Even the National Youth Service Corps should incorporate training. Even in the secondary schools, we should incorporate training. But what Mr. Udensi said, I don't align myself very much with his mission.